Warning! The following podcast may contain language and subject matter not suitable for all ages or everyone. If you don't like what you're listening to, please press stop. In this episode of the Changwoner Podcast.
No, my his whole family is from Moscow, and that's where I was born. And my mom is from Siberia.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
What did her family do to get stuck there?
Her family...
you must go to Siberia.
They must have pissed off Stalin or something.
Yeah.
I was in it itself, right?
I was living in a jungle.
Yeah.
Like, it was real. You know? People had, like, those parts of India have never seen foreigners. Yeah. So...
I mean, who cares about the Taj Mahal when you're in the fucking middle of the jungle, right?
Yeah, it was cool. Never lived by an ocean. Been to the ocean many times. So the idea was to go to Busan, live by the ocean, go swimming, go to the beach. That sounded like paradise to me. Discuss life. No, ginger bongs are awesome. When I used to go to them in Canada too, we have Korean ginger bongs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I know there is a Koreatown in Toronto. It's near Chester Station or something, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't think I've actually been to the Koreatown, but I've been to the ginger bongs, which I guess are in the Korean town.
Yeah.
You're tuned in to the Changwoner, the podcast coming to you from Changwon City, South Korea. With your hosts, Scott, Adam, and Phil.
It's the Changwoner Podcast, a podcast that brings you some of the people living and working here in South Korea, and then Changwon City in particular. Once again, I'm Scott. Sitting across from me is Mr. Phil. How's it going?
I feel like the luckiest person on earth sitting across from you.
And today I've got Adam sitting beside me. How's it
Hello,
going,
good
Adam?
sir.
How's it going?
Good, man.
And this week we got another guest on the show. We've got Michael Varkovetski.
Varkovetski. That's right.
Hey, Varkovetski.
Thank you for having me.
It's an interesting name.
Yeah, thank you. Good pronunciation.
Do people call you Mike?
I think, yeah.
Or do you prefer Michael?
You know what? I do prefer Mike, but as I age, people start calling me Michael more and more.
Michael.
So eventually, I guess when I'm about 40, 50 years old, it's just going to be Michael. Yeah. I'm evolving.
So it's fine. It's fine to call you Mike, though.
You can call me whatever you want, yeah.
George Michael.
Girls call me Mikey.
Mikey.
Sometimes.
Mikey. What about, do people call you Varka?
Yeah, so...
What's up with that?
It's a natural occurrence. I don't know why it happens.
So it's Polish, right?
It's a Polish last name. Somewhere in my lineage, we were from Poland.
Okay, and then where did you go?
And then I guess we ended up in Russia.
Oh.
So as far as I know, my parents, my grandparents, great-great-parents, you know, for generations are Russian.
Hopefully not both your parents were named Varko.
One was Varko, one was Vetsky. We just combined it. Yeah. No, my dad's, his whole family is from Moscow, and that's where I was born. And my mom is from Siberia.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
What did her family do to get stuck there?
Her family...
you must go to
They
Siberia.
must have pissed off Stalin or something.
They got suckered in the Soviet Union to go to Siberia and work
It's
on...
great place to live.
It's a great place to live. Come make money. Well, what happened was they graduated with these huge debts, right? They took out loans for school. And all these students had no jobs. And they're like, what do we do now? And so... They're like,
Can you do that in a Russian accent?
Come to Siberia, make some money. I can't do a Russian accent. I can talk in Russian. Давайте иди в Сибирию. Сделаем деньги.
I can do it. Come to Siberia. Come make some money.
So
Your voice is...
the idea was to go to Siberia, work on these oil rigs, and there's nothing there. It's just tundra and forest. And the government was going to build a city for the people who went down there to work. And so I guess my grandma's parents went to Siberia to do this and got fucked over. They went down there and they froze their butts off. Yeah. And there was no city being built.
They survived.
And they survived. Literally, they survived. And they built their own infrastructure and homes and started a community. And this oil business, it brought some money in, but it was not enough to send anything home or pay off debts.
Would you ever go back to Russia?
I'd love to go back to Russia.
How did your mother meet your father?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I think they were on Tinder. They met him on Tinder,
Moscow
right?
is quite far from
think it's
Siberia.
Is it Tinder match?
Tundra?
Tundra.
Tundra.
I don't know.
It's cold.
Yeah. I think, yeah, I have no idea. I can't even
Because Moscow's quite far from Siberia.
Very far.
Yeah.
Very far.
Maybe she was visiting or something. I don't know.
Maybe. I know my dad met her when he was in university, and my dad was a doctor in Russia. I have no idea how it happened.
So when did they immigrate to? You're Canadian.
Yeah. So
now,
I'm
right?
Canadian now. So I was born. My parents were really young. I think they were like 21, 23. And my dad's dad was a professor at U of T, University of Toronto, and he was teaching.
I went there.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
What was he teaching?
He was teaching computer science.
Okay.
And again, I don't know how he ended up there, but it was a gateway to get my dad to Canada. And my dad came, I think, 2 or 3 years ahead of me and my mom. And then he set up kind of a base, bought an apartment
In Toronto.
in Richmond Hill.
In Richmond Hill. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And then me and my mom immigrated when I was 6 or 5. So it was 1996. So I was 5 years old.
So you can speak Russian then?
So I can speak fluent Russian now
That's awesome.
at like an 8th grade level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can hold a conversation.
I can hold a conversation. I can understand everything. But I'm definitely not caught up on the slang and, Russians would instantly understand that I'm foreigner.
Okay.
Yeah. But I want to go back very badly, but I can't.
Why?
Because when my parents immigrated, they were too cheap to cancel my citizenship. It was about $300.
Wow.
They didn't want to do it. They didn't have the money.
Okay.
We were poor. We weren't poor, but we were scraping by. Both of them worked at a bakery at the time.
Couldn't you do that now, though? Couldn't you go to, like, the Russian embassy in Ottawa or something and be like, I don't want to be a Russian citizen anymore? Or
Still 300?
dual citizen, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, so they make it really difficult because they want you to be they want you to be a citizen of Russia. It's a 12-month process.
Pay your taxes.
Really?
Yeah. It's just like it's a couple $100, which isn't a big deal at all. My dad's going to Russia this year. He goes every year to visit his mom. But he's like, this year, before you go into your master's, come to Russia with me. Every year you've been saying that you're going to come, but I've had university and I moved to Korea. And my mom has always been really worried about me going back for good reasons, because as a citizen there, I would immediately be conscripted into the military.
How long is their conscription?
2 years in Korea. But it's hell. I hear it's hell. Like I hear it. Oh, it's awful. I think people die. Like the fatality rate inside the military program is high because people just get the shit kicked out of them on the daily.
Yeah.
Because it's the Russian. Whatever you imagine the Russian military to be, that's probably what it is.
Oh, yeah.
That's why Russians are so hard.
Yeah, for sure.
If you survive the military, then you're just a badass.
I mean, I know. And it could be a good life experience, right? Go over there,
Maybe we can do like
test
a
my life. Maybe
Changwoner Podcast special. Varko, 2 years.
Just for a second here, we don't like to really talk politics here, but what are your folks' like view on Putin and like what's going on currently and shit? Just briefly, we don't have to go into depth, but
he's good man.
Did you say Putin or Putin?
Putin.
They love Putin.
That's how they say Putin, and that's how they say Poutine in
What do you like more,
Quebec,
Putin or poutine?
I love poutine. No, Putin needs a little bit more gravy on him.
Oh, he's listening.
So what do your folks think about him?
I don't think they have a big opinion of him. My family's highly Canadian now.
Okay. They're like naturalized.
Yeah, very naturalized at this point. My mom doesn't even speak Russian anymore, really. She speaks to me in English. My dad always speaks in Russian to me. But I guess, so my mom, I don't think she has a viewpoint on him. But my father, I think he likes Putin.
Okay.
I think he likes Putin because,
Do they like Trudeau more?
I don't know. I guess Trudeau got elected when I was coming to Korea. So I'm out of the loop on Trudeau. He's done some good stuff. He's done some kind of crappy stuff. Yeah. But I think the reason...
who looks better shirtless? Trudeau or Putin?
Ooh, on a bear?
Yeah.
Putin. Way more manly, I think. If you were to put Putin and Trudeau into
That's why you're number 2.
Oh, Putin would fuck him up. He's like ex-KGB or something.
Fuck him up.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be a battle.
You asked the questions.
I think Putin's done everything in his life. Like all of his, he's had the money, he's had the fame, he's had the woman. He doesn't, I don't think he's got a drive for himself anymore. He's more now concerned about the country. I think. I don't know.
When he came into power, I used to date a girl from Moscow, and she told me it was a fucking huge surprise. Cause it was like overnight, they were like, the guy was like, I'm resigning and this is your new president. Vladimir Putin, and everyone in Russia was like, "Who is this guy?" You know, like it was like really everyone was kind of taken aback by it.
There is a music video like we want a man like Putin. Like women are singing this pop song. You guys need to check that out.
Is it English?
Well, I mean, I'm sure that they could do. You could understand it.
Oh, it's a Russian music video.
It's a Russian music video, like girl group singing about. You know, the lyrics are there were subtitles like "We want a man like Putin." You know, he is.
That was their answer to Pussy Riot.
Yeah.
It's all propaganda.
So I don't know. I guess women want to date.
Why would you not want to date a man who rides bears around? Yeah. Seems like a super alpha dude.
And like on the low, he's supposedly one of the richest people on Earth.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
Like
he really profited from
I mean, on the low.
Yeah, why on the low?
Because no one really knows
tell
how
you
much
not to mention that or something?
I mean, I've been we're close.
No, I've read some reports where they say
they don't know how much he's worth.
5. Yeah, he's in the top 5
because he won't give his tax statements to Congress.
Because fuck that. Why would he? He had untapped control over Russia's natural resources. Oil, man. All those minerals, that was just money going into his pockets. That's what, the Soviet Union did. It was a communist state. So everything belonged to the government. Yeah. And as he was, obviously had his hands into many pockets at the time. And all the money that was being made from the distribution of those resources went into his pockets.
Speaking of having money in pockets, how long have you been in Korea?
You said you got here before Trudeau got in, so probably close to a year.
Oh, a little over a year.
Okay.
I think.
How's your experience in Korea
months
so far?
Korea's good. I really, it changed my life.
Okay.
Are you living in Changwon?
Yeah. Sangju-dong now. I was living in Sangnam for the first year.
Okay.
I'm living out on the outskirts now, but I have a bike, a motorcycle, so it's fine. If I didn't have a motorcycle, I would not be willing to live so far away from civilization.
What kind of bike you got?
I got an Exiv 250. It's made by the company Hayosan. It's a Korean motorcycle. It's fast enough, but needs to be faster.
Did you buy it secondhand or?
Bought it secondhand. It's 2015. I got a good deal on it.
Is that the year of the price?
How did you find it?
So story goes that when I came to Korea with my buddy Malcolm, okay? And my whole time in Canada, I've wanted a motorcycle, but my parents have been against it.
And why is that? I mean, I hear they're super safe.
I guess for that reason, my mom's a worry woman, and she couldn't. I think she wouldn't be able to deal with it. She doesn't let me go to Russia because she thinks I'm going to get conscripted. Maybe I will, but I was into paintballing and longboarding back home, and that gave her heart attacks. Yeah, she's like, "Oh my god, he's going to kill himself longboarding one of these days." And I'd be like, "She's like, where are you?" I'd be in school, and she's like, "Where are you going tonight?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm going with my friends." She's like, "Are you going to longboard?" It's like, "Yeah, probably." She's like, "Please be careful." So motorcycle is a couple levels above that.
Oh, longboard.
Yeah.
I thought you said lawn bowling.
No. Longboard.
Lawn bowling.
Lawn bowling isn't the dangerous.
Parents.
Well, he said his mom was overprotective. I was just like, what if somebody threw one of those things?
But that's interesting because I just realized your mom didn't want you to Russia because they thought you'd get conscripted.
Right.
So when I came here, my parents, they weren't sure if I'd get conscripted. My dad was like, if they try to make you join the military. My father has been in the military his entire life. If they try to make you in the military, you just get out. My mom was like, you should join. You're not man enough.
Phil, were you born here? Or
No, I was born in the States.
No, you're born in the States. You don't have to do it then.
But I've heard stories where people were born in the States as Koreans, came here. Do you have a dual citizenship?
I do not.
Well, I guess this guy had a dual citizen, and he immediately got drafted.
Yeah. And So, what the thing is, if you're put on their family registry, you have until you're 18 years old to cancel your citizenship, or you have to sign up. So I work for the military now, so, but on the good side of the military.
What do you do for military?
English teacher.
For the military?
Yeah, for the Korean military, they have to learn English.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Fuck teaching kids.
Yeah.
I did that for a year.
Did it? Yeah.
Right.
Sounds like a good gig.
Yeah, definitely.
Best job in Korea.
Oh yeah.
And they make me say that.
They watch this podcast.
They're listening.
Or they're gonna Kim Jong Nam your ass in the airport.
So
this is your second year contract, then I take it.
Right. So I was gonna
Different
leave.
school.
Same school. I bargained for a good raise. But one of the big reasons I signed with the same school is because they offered me 7 months instead of a year.
Okay.
Because I have to leave.
So you extended, basically.
I extended it, exactly. So guys, I can't stay for a year.
You're at a Changwon?
I'm at Changwon.
Okay.
Why do you have to leave?
Well, I got my master's starting in September, and I got it. That's in the UK, and I have to go home for a month. I haven't seen my family in quite some time, so I'm gonna go home, stay for a month, and then go to the UK.
Okay. UK, okay.
UK, okay. My girlfriend's there now, and it doesn't sound so okay. It sounds dreary. She sends me pictures every day. It's just raining, cloudy.
What were you expecting?
I don't know.
Where in the
Mary
UK?
Poppins?
So why did you change houses? Is your school in Changwon done?
They have a sister branch. I guess they own 2 locations. One's in Songju-dong, and they needed an experienced teacher to go there. They need a good teacher like myself.
Where is Songju-dong?
Northeast corner of Changwon.
Oh, okay. So up near like Sapodong, kind of. Or,
I don't know.
okay.
I'm so bad at these dong names.
Yeah.
So what brought you to Korea in the first place? Like, why did you decide to get out of Canada and come over here?
It's a good question.
You said you came with a buddy?
Came with a buddy. What happened was my intention was always to do my master's. And when I graduated school, I needed some money. And so I started working as a social worker in Canada. I was working with kids with substance abuse problems. And
What was your degree in?
my degree was in neuroscience and psychology. So it was a double major.
As I remember, I only met you, I think, once or twice before this, but you went to University of Guelph, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember that because my brother went there.
Right.
It sounds like a fake Hogwarts kind of thing. Like the Sorting Hat Jim Guelph.
Got a sweater.
Yeah. You're
It's legit. But so I graduated from school and I needed some money. So I started working. I needed experience. Being a social worker was amazing.
Were you a social worker in Guelph or in Toronto?
I was a social worker in Guelph.
Okay.
And they have a really big opiate problem.
Really?
Yeah, with the younger kids.
Jesus, I didn't know that.
A big one. A big homeless youth and opiate addiction problem.
Wow.
Yeah, and meth too. Some amphetamines.
Yeah. Well, opiates, I know, like, there's a big problem with
Painkillers.
that.
Not heroin, painkillers, Oxycontin, and stuff like that. But, so I did that for a year, and it was awesome, but it was just not paying. I have a student debt. I was in debt with my student loan.
Wasn't doing it for you.
It wasn't doing it for me.
Yeah.
And I was just didn't want to go into a master's program already $20,000 in debt. So I was like, okay, I got to pay this off somehow. Now I went to India when I was in my in my third summer of my third year to do volunteering. So I paid $3,000 to go into the jungle in India and teach kids. I was doing some malaria awareness projects over there too. And I guess I've always traveled in my life, but mostly in like the Caribbean islands and a little bit of Europe. But India really opened up the gateway, and I got the travel bug. I was like, wow, this is amazing. This is what I want to do with my life. I want to travel. I don't want to work in an office.
That sounds cool, man.
Yeah, it was dope. It was unreal.
Did you get to see a lot of India or just the one region?
I saw quite a bit of it. I was there for a month and a half.
Yeah.
And I was stationed in the northeastern part of India for the majority of it, but I flew through a lot of it, and we had to stay overnight in a couple main cities because of the transfers. That's the way they work for the airports. So I saw some of it. I saw a lot of it. I got exposed to a lot of it.
How'd you like the food?
I love Indian food.
Yeah. It's awesome, right?
I didn't get an opportunity to go to the main tourist sites because it was always like, oh, you have to stay here for a night and just kind of like go out into town.
But yours sounds like a more genuine experience.
Yeah,
in it itself, right?
I was living in a jungle.
Yeah.
Like it was real. You know, people had like those parts of India have never seen foreigners. Yeah. So
I mean, who cares about the Taj Mahal when you're in the fucking middle of the jungle, right?
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
It was hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought India was not as hot as Korea.
Really?
Summer's insane.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Super damp here, right?
Super insane, man.
Super humid, I meant.
Yeah.
Damp. I get damp from the humidity.
You're damp.
Well, it was really humid in India too. It was so humid that if you were in a cab and you were wearing sunglasses, it was 97% humidity. Wow. You were wearing sunglasses and you'd stick your head out of the cab window. Water droplets would form on the lenses. That's how humid it was.
Holy Jesus.
Yeah, so you would leave your hotel or hostel, wherever you were staying, and you would immediately be soaked in sweat and just the water in the air. I tried to go for a run once. We were kind of living in a hillless area, and I died. I couldn't do it. I felt like I was like inhaling water. So difficult.
So what were you teaching there?
So I was teaching English at an elementary school, and that's how I got the idea to come to Korea. So when I had graduated and had done my social work, and I was like, okay, I need money. What should I do? And I was like, let's go teach English in Korea. And I had heard of people doing it. Malcolm, who was a buddy of mine, he jumped on board on the idea randomly. I just brought it up one day. He's like, oh, I want to go. And so I was like, all right, let's do it.
Did he go to India with you?
No, he didn't go to India with me. He didn't go he went to University of Ottawa or Carleton or something.
How did you meet him?
I met him through my ex-girlfriend. They lived in the same building, and he has a really nice BMW. Old, I think it's like a 1980s E series. I don't know what it is. It's like a box.
Is he from Ottawa?
He's from Guelph too.
Oh, okay.
So he was living in Guelph after he had graduated university.
I see.
And I was every time I'd visited my ex-girlfriend, I'd see his car in the parking lot. I was like, man, this is a nice car. And I eventually met him. Yeah, stumbled upon him, and I was like, "Wow, you're the dude with the car." And he's like, "Yeah," and we became good friends. And he came to he jumped on board for the Korea idea, and we're like, "Let's do it." We did it. That was that. He knew people in Changwon. Remember Leslie and Hannah. Right. And
those names ring a bell.
Those girls. Yeah. I think they went to his university.
Okay.
And so we came to Korea together, and here we are.
How'd you end up picking Changwon, or was it just fluke? Or
it wasn't a fluke. We didn't want to be in Seoul because we just didn't want to be in a metropolis. I don't want to do that. And Toronto is enough for me. Never been by an ocean. Never lived by an ocean. I've been to the ocean many times. So the idea was to go to Busan, live by the ocean, go swimming, go to the beach. That sounded like paradise to me. But we were looking for work together. So we wanted to be hired in the same school. And that doesn't really happen for two friends. So they usually hire couples.
Yeah.
So and
you didn't want to be like, we're a gay couple.
Wow. We were asked multiple times, are you guys homosexual?
Really?
Yeah.
They did ask
They asked us.
Wow.
A lot of the interview questions were like, are you Christian? We're like, yeah, we're Christian. And the next question, are you homosexuals? Only if you want us to be.
If it'll make it easier.
Yeah. Whatever you need. Get us in here. We finally found a school in Changwon, in the Sangnam-dong, who had an apartment with 2 bedrooms, like a Jutech house.
Okay.
And so we came to Changwon because of that. And at the same time, he's like, oh, I know these girls from my university who live there. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So we came here. Great choice. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
I think it's a great place to live,
It's not too far from Busan either, right?
It's not. You can hit up the beach on the weekend, and you have Jinhae. Jinhae is underrated.
Jinhae is awesome.
It's beautiful.
Can't say enough about Jinhae.
I love it. I ride down there all the time just to drive by the ocean and get that salty air smell,
Low tide's kind of rough, though.
Why? What do you mean?
You smell all of the rotten fish.
Yeah.
Usually around this time is when, like spring hits and it starts to turn to summer and it's just everything rots at once.
Do you live close to the ocean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm right there.
That's good though. It'd
be nice if there was a beach, but there's just there's just harbors and
Isn't that
rocks.
Insane? How can they have not built a beach?
I don't know.
I question that all the time.
I'm gonna get on that. I'm gonna go to the next city council meeting and listen. I know
you have it in with the military guys.
I have no pull.
I've been to a Jimjilbang in Jinhae. It's awesome. It's right on the coast, and you can actually see the sea.
See the sea.
See the sea.
See it.
As you're relaxing, like in a sauna. It's really good.
Yeah.
I don't know if you like Jimjilbang.
I love Jimjilbangs. I go at least once a week.
Yeah. It's awesome, right?
I love the best.
Is that where you do your Russian mob meetings?
Yeah. Me and Zach, we get there together. Sit in hot tubs. Right. Discuss life. No, Jimjilbangs are awesome. When I used to go to them in Canada too, we have Korean Jimjilbangs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I know there is a Koreatown in Toronto. It's near Chester Station or something, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't think I've actually been to the Koreatown, but I've been to the Jimjilbangs, which I guess, are in the Koreatown.
Yeah. There's like 2 Koreatowns. One of them's in North York, and the other one is like
I've been to the North York one then.
Yeah. The other one is like west of Bloor, or I should say west of Yonge. I should say. Yeah.
Yeah, man, we have them there, and you can sleep there too.
Not really big on gingerbongs.
Really?
I mean, nudity's fine and everything. It's just one time I was in one of those like pools, and all of a sudden curly hair is floating near me.
Yeah, you got to get over that.
Yeah,
that happens. That's okay.
Or like it's just all over the soap.
What do you think's in an ocean? Many curly hairs.
Yeah, but
it's just dispersed more widely.
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
There's a lot of trash in there,
but I don't always see the trash.
Yeah,
I saw the curly. Well, I mean,
the short and curly.
They're not short, dude. They're never short.
They've been trimmed.
Korean guys don't believe in it.
The urinals. I've seen the longest hairs of my life in these urinals, and it's nightmare. It's a nightmare. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Like,
I have a few Korean friends who go to gingerbongs with me, and I've brought up the question: why don't you guys trim your pubic hair?
Yeah.
And they think it's weird.
They think it's gay.
Yeah,
they think it's gay.
They're like, why do you trim your pubic hair? Like, you're the weird one.
Yeah.
Bro. I don't know.
They don't mow lawns either, so.
Yeah, they don't have lawns to mow. So.
How did we get on to pubic hair?
But there's always hair dryers, and you just see a guy with his leg up.
No, I think at my gym, I think they put up a sign because I don't see that anymore. I think they actually put up a sign that says "Don't blow dry your pubes." Yeah. Because I used to see it all the time. They'd have like one leg up on the fucking on the counter, and they'd be like they'd be drying off their pubes. And now I don't see it anymore. And there's like a new sign, and I'm pretty sure that's what it says.
What gym do you go to?
The one in Sobu Sports Center.
Okay. Because I used to go to Vision Fitness in Sangam-dong.
Yeah.
They put up a sign.
What a vision.
They put a sign up?
What a vision that fitness does.
They actually did, because I had my friend translate it for me. That's what it says.
It says don't blow dry your pubes?
Yeah, it says not for use on, I guess, lower body.
Yeah, genitally.
Something like that. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. The Korean word for pubic hair, umo, is also used for conspiracy. So maybe there's a pubic conspiracy. Umo.
Funny how Korean words do that, right? They mean the same thing.
That's the title of my new album.
Umo.
Yeah. Pubic hair conspiracy.
That's funny. Isn't that strange, though?
Yeah.
Why did they not think of enough words?
I mean, yeah, it happens everywhere.
Cha and cha, car and tea. What's happening? Yeah. It doesn't happen everywhere. What word in English has a totally different meaning like that?
Oh, there's got to be several in English, though.
I mean, set has 17 different meanings in the dictionary. It's
said?
Set.
Oh, set. Oh, yeah, okay. No, you're right. English is my second language. You got to give me a break. No, you're right.
Okay, so about riding, how's your experience riding motorcycles?
So, like I said, in Canada, I never owned one, and I started riding in India, and I was living at one place. We were there for a month and a half. I was living at one place for about 6 weeks, and one of the guys who worked there had 2 bikes. So they were 2 small, like 125cc motorcycles. Became really good friends with him, John, and he said,
"Shout out, John."
Yeah, shout out to John in India, Mizoram. That's right. Anyways, he said,
I think he's still there.
He is still there.
Oh yeah,
yeah, because I keep in contact with him on Facebook.
You're a good friend.
Yeah, for sure. He's a really good guy. Plays rock and rolls. Like he plays death metal.
Nice.
And that was really taboo in Mizoram, which is a really traditional kind of heavily Christian area. And he plays death metal and drives a motorcycle.
Fucking A.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? That's a badass motherfucker right there.
And they have alcohol is prohibited.
What?
Yeah. Crazy story. I'll tell it quickly. What happened was, in the early 20th century, Mizoram, which is this like northeastern part of India, barely in India, was pretty much just a land of, it was like a tribal land. Okay. India cut it off, closed off the borders from Mizoram to the rest of India, the government, because they didn't want anything to do with Mizoram. They're just like, these people over, this is our land. It's just like crazy people. This is the crazy area. Indians weren't allowed to go in, and Mizoram people weren't allowed to go into India. So in like the early 20th century, like 1908 or 19 something like that. Anyways, these 2 Christian missionaries, right? They came over there from England, and the government was like, Indian government said, yeah, please go in there, civilize these people. So they went in there and they threw the Bible in their face. and they converted everybody to Christianity, and they built beautiful churches and incredible infrastructure and organized everything over there. 16 years ago, I think, or 17 years ago, in 1990, the borders opened up for the first time, where Indian people can go into Mizoram and Mizoram people can go into India. And in like 1995, the first foreigners went into Mizoram. Okay? And the missionaries prohibited alcohol use. So there's no bars, there's no karaoke.
Can you get arrested if you like?
Yeah, totally arrested.
What's the punishment?
I don't know, but I know you can get arrested. I think.
Shot, just like
remember.
Spend a night in jail.
Shots.
Shot, yeah.
Taking a shot. Got it.
But that doesn't stop people. Doesn't stop people from drinking.
Of course.
Right? So they make like bathtub wine. Or sneak in alcohol from India or Burma or something.
Myanmar.
Myanmar.
Yeah,
Burma.
Yeah, Burma. Yeah. So they sneak alcohol and other narcotics, marijuana, and all that stuff. They
Drugs
sneak it into Mizoram, and they do it secretly. And so, I was riding this motorcycle. This guy gave me a motorcycle for a month. It was really difficult to get used to because, one, I've never driven a motorcycle. It was my first. I've driven a dirt bike a few times in Canada. And he's like, and I was like, John, can you give me a ride on your motorcycle one day? He's like, better yet, I'll give you my motorcycle for the month that you're here. It's not a problem. Do you know how to ride one? And I was like, yeah, I got a license in Canada. He's like, all right, no problem. And so one day, in front of like all of the other staff members at this organization, I get on his bike and I'm trying to start. I start it up and it's in neutral, and I got to get into first and kind of roll it forward to prove that I can ride a motorcycle. And I kick it in first and I stall it, kick it in first, stall it like 5 or 6 times. Very embarrassed. Mm-hmm. And I just blamed it on, oh yeah, I have a bigger CC motorcycle in Canada. It's totally different.
No, I'm totally used to this, guys. Yeah. It's all right.
Sorry, I'm just drunk.
And I was like, your motorcycle's just shit, John. I don't know what to tell you. But a few days later, I was like, John, let me try again. And he let me try again, and I got it going instantly. And that was it. And then from that moment, he left me his bike, and I could drive it. But the driving direction is flipped from Canada. So they're driving on the left side of the road. Mm-hmm. So I almost died like twice because of oncoming traffic.
Well, it would just slip your mind?
Yeah, well, you'd be going around a mountain. It was all mountainous area. And you'd be going around a corner, and I'd just be going on the wrong side of the road. And there'd be a car incoming or a truck. And one time it was a truck, and it was a truck from the organization that I was working for. And I get back to my home, and they're like, Mike, we almost killed you. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, sorry.
That happened to me one time when I was a kid. We used to go down to Barbados, my family and I, for Christmas time. Mm-hmm. And I guess my dad used to drink and drive like a madman. Doesn't drink anymore, but like he used to fucking just toss back the scotch. And we were driving like through the mountains.
He only did it when he was with the family.
Yeah, only when he was with the family. That's the only way you could take it.
You damn kids!
And I remember we were going around a corner on a mountain, and we almost got plowed by this tour bus. And I swear to God, this would have killed us.
Shit.
And just at the last moment, my dad was just like, it was like a split second, or else I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Is the camera on? Can people see what you just did?
Yeah.
At the last moment, he was just like,
yeah.
We're alive, no big deal.
It is hard though. Like when you're in a country where it's the opposite, right? Like in Japan, they do it as well.
Yeah.
Especially if you're drunk.
Oh, of course, yeah. Which you shouldn't be doing at all. I don't condone that kind of
Drinking
behavior.
and driving is very bad.
Very bad. Don't do it. Many people lose their lives. And kill people. That's the worst part. Drunk drivers kill innocent, families or children.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like some people are like, I'll be fine. It's like, well, what if you kill someone else?
Yeah.
Who's,
fuck you for being fine.
Yeah.
And you probably will be fine because you're drunk and your body's loose and your muscles don't, stay rigid.
You're probably driving a truck.
Yeah.
And they're in a fucking
Toyota.
Yeah.
Well, that's like one of the great things about living in Korea is the system where they have drivers that will come get your car, drive you home.
I do love that system.
The Daeryunja?
Yeah. And it's cheap too. It's cheap.
They're not bad.
It's like $10.
Yeah.
Do you use that often?
I don't drive.
Oh, okay.
I just take a taxi.
Oh, okay.
Or the bus.
I have a car, but I don't. If I don't even want to be tempted to drink and drive because I'll be like, oh, I'm fine, and then just ruin my life and someone else. So
right.
I just don't even tempted. If I'm driving, I'm not drinking.
So once they drop you off at your house with your car, what do?
They come inside and they sleep with you. I mean, someone picks them up.
You make out with them for a little while.
All right, you gonna come upstairs, some coffee?
So someone comes and picks them up?
Yeah.
It's a good deal.
They just live there now.
Somebody follows you, though, right?
Right.
And then once they park your car, they just hop in to the car that follows them. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So
it's a very good system. We need this in Canada,
definitely.
Right? Like,
we need this worldwide.
You know what?
You can't do that in Canada.
People will be freaked out because
of insurance. You can't have other people driving your car.
That's a good point.
That's why it doesn't exist.
Well, there's got to be a clause for that, though.
Same in the States, I'd say.
Yeah. Well, like Uber drivers, right?
Their car, though.
But most of them are they void their insurance when they're driving for Uber because it's a business now, and 95% of people who have insurance on their vehicles is just for personal use, right? Driving themselves around their family. They can't be making money off of it. So if they get in an accident driving for Uber and the police deem that they were driving for Uber, then their insurance is void. And if anything happened, they got to pay for everything out of their pocket. And the person who paid for the Uber, the customer, they're not covered by insurance either. So if they get if they break an arm in the accident, that's out of their pocket. My insurance company, when I was driving in Canada, was like, do not drive for Uber. This is a huge mistake people do. Yeah. Gotta be careful.
So fuck Uber.
Well, I don't know.
I called one of those guys once to give me a ride home.
Oh.
I didn't have a car.
Wait, what?
Did they yunja?
Yeah. I was a little drunk.
So what'd you do? Just hang out with the guy? Just make a new friend?
Well, I figured they must have their own car, so I tried to convince them to give me a ride home.
What'd they say?
I don't know.
Well, you couldn't get a taxi, and that's why you called it.
It's cheaper than a taxi. I was
Jesus Christ.
far from house. I don't know why I did it, to be honest, but
He's your little
just
drunk.
called. The guy came up.
Guy comes up and just walks.
Oh, dear. I'm like, car? What do you mean car? Where's your car?
They're like, why did you call us? And you're like, I'm just looking for a friend.
You want to come upstairs?
You want to make out?
This is my house. We're already here.
Here's $10. Come on. Earn some money.
Done things like that before, though. Just to mess with people, you know?
Yeah.
I've gone into Loteria and order like a hamburger set. I don't know, cheeseburger set. But then I'm like, cheese bagel, french fries bagel, and cola bagel. Like, no cheeseburger, no cheese, no drink, and no fries.
But you asked for a set.
Yeah.
That's weird.
They must be
just like
They just stare at me. There's one time I ordered a cola, and I said no cup. And they just stared at me. Oh, well.
Like, I want to drink it off your
Korean,
tits.
like cola Giselle.
I want to drink it off your tits.
Cup.
Whoa.
I just want to get my face in
It's
the
fun.
fountain.
It's fun messing with people.
So, Mike, since you've been in Korea, have you traveled around like to Japan or?
I have.
Yeah.
I have. But let me quickly finish this India motorcycle.
Oh, yeah,
story.
go on. Sorry.
So what happened was, it's tied in with the prohibition of alcohol.
Okay.
So on the last weekend that I was staying with these guys, we motorcycled out to this park, and they're like, "Oh, we're celebrating you leaving. You know, we got some alcohol." And they pulled out this water bottle, and they're like, "Oh yeah, man, like this is the best whiskey we can get. This is we saved this for you." They were so happy to share it. They were awesome people, but it was vodka. It was just a clear vodka. And I was like, guys, this is just vodka. And they didn't believe me. They're like, no, what are you talking about? This is whiskey. We've been drinking this our whole life. This is just whiskey.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, this is vodka.
Huh.
Yeah. They were so,
Maybe it was like moonshine.
No, it was just vodka. It was just vodka.
I guess
Sounds like moonshine, though.
Yeah.
It was just bad.
Was it home brewed?
No, I'm possibly, I don't know.
It
was in a
just be
plastic
moonshine.
water bottle,
Yeah.
but they thought it was whiskey. They were like, this is not whiskey.
Yeah.
Well, it was funny. Anyhow, yeah, traveling in Korea. I've traveled to Japan.
Where'd you go in Japan?
I was in Tokyo and Osaka and Kyoto.
Nice.
Kyoto's the best place.
Kyoto's the best.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I highly recommend that to everyone.
You don't even need to go to Osaka or Tokyo.
Yeah.
It's just a city. It's just a city. Go to Kyoto, and it's, if you're into the culture and the history of Japan, oh god, it's gorgeous.
It's the best.
It's gorgeous. We rented kimonos, and me and my girlfriend, my dad and his buddy, and it was in the morning. We traveled all over Kyoto wearing these kimonos. And
why did you rent the kimonos?
My girlfriend was really keen on getting a kimono. Yeah. And we're like, fuck, let's do it.
You didn't want to buy one. You just want to rent it.
I'm not going to buy a kimono.
How much are they?
They're really expensive. They're like $300, man.
How much is it to cost? How much does a hanbok cost?
I don't know.
Probably $300.
That's racist to think that I knew that.
So Adam, how much does a handbook cost?
I think it's about the same. It's like $250.
So how much is it to rent?
It was still expensive. It was like probably
$300.
They got you.
For the male ones, I think it was probably like $60 or $80 each. But for her, it was a little bit more expensive. I think she paid $100 or $120 because she got her hair done. It gives her a whole deal.
So and it's like, you didn't get your hair done.
I have no hair to get done. So it's this beautiful.
What about your pubic hair? Did you get that?
I tried. She had this beautiful kimono. It was like, it was gorgeous, colorful, full of flowers, awesome hair. And for us, it was, first of all, for the woman, they have this huge room, these huge variety and choices of kimonos. And for the men, they have this closet door they open up. It's like 3 colors, gray, green, or black. What do you want? Or brown, starting 4 colors. That's it.
What'd you go for?
I went for black.
Of course.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Black is fucking, that's the best.
I'm not going to go for brown or green.
Did you go to the monkey park there?
I didn't.
No.
But in these kimonos, we climb. There's those Shinto gates. There's this orange gates, right? Yeah. And there's a temple on top of a mountain. And to get to the temple, you have to climb, I don't know how many stairs, but through, I think there's close to 500 or 600 of these Shinto gates. So you climb up this mountain. We did it in our kimonos with sandals on, with wooden sandals, traditional style Japanese sandals. And unfortunately, we didn't make it all the way up because my girlfriend couldn't take it anymore because her feet were about to break off.
She was just like, fuck this.
She's like, fuck this.
Yeah.
We got to like a halfway viewpoint. We're like, that's enough. Let's go back down.
So your girlfriend is Korean, correct?
Yeah, born in Changwon, actually. Yeah. Changed my life. Remember I said Korea changed my life?
Yeah.
There you go. That's one of the reasons. Yeah, she's born in Changwon. She did university in Japan, so she speaks fluent Japanese. So it was a big help on our trip. And now she's in the UK working as a designer, packaging designer. Yeah, or looking for a job currently, and she'll soon be a packaging designer.
What's your drink of choice these days?
Whiskey, man.
Whiskey, yeah, that's my boy.
Jameson Club.
There you go.
Yeah,
Jameson Club all the way,
yeah, for sure.
On the rocks.
On the rocks.
I'm a McKellen's man.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. I'm a McKellen's man.
I don't like rocks, so I just a little bit of water.
I like to wait a little bit. You pour it on the ice and just give it a few minutes. Let it melt a little bit.
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah,
that is
then
good. But that's a North American thing, right? In Scotland, they frown upon that shit. Like if you drink whiskey or Scotch whiskey with ice, Scots will look at you like, fuck you, man. Yeah.
Well, I used to just do it straight, no ice. But I was drinking them way too fast, so putting ice on it kind of slows it down a little bit. Just got used to it, especially in the summer. Summertime, you need some ice.
I'm not totally against it. I like it once in a while, but I prefer it with just a little water because I know that's the way it's meant to be.
Yeah. Rules are made to be broken.
Of course.
Yeah, who made these rules? Irish people?
The Scots.
The Scottish people?
Scots?
The Scots.
I only started drinking whiskey this year.
Really?
Yeah, Korea changed my life.
There you go.
Hashtag life changing.
I hope you're not drinking Korean whiskey though.
No.
That shit is garbage.
I only drink whiskey at O'Brien's because I'm part of the Jameson Club, so it's the only place I'm willing to fork out the money for it. Yeah, I only started drinking it this year. It's because I was in Busan and there's this awesome bar in Busan called The Secret Room. Have you heard of it?
No.
Because it's a secret.
It's because it's a secret.
Hyundai or Guangli?
It's in Hyundai. And it's pretty much across from the Thursday party in Hyundai. Okay? It's across the street. And it says, if you look up, it's on the second floor and it just says it's not called the secret room. It's called the back room.
The back room.
The back room. And it looks like a super fancy place and it's got like purple candlelit lighting inside, these huge arch windows. It looks awesome. And me and my girlfriend are walking around and we're like, how do we get in this place? There's no door. Okay. The first floor is just
was it like Hogwarts again? You have to go through that.
Pretty much. The first floor is just a Korean restaurant. Mm-hmm. And we walk around this building a few times looking for a door. There is no door. Like, do we have to go inside the Korean restaurant to get in this place? So we go inside the Korean restaurant, just like packed with people eating dinner. And we walk through, and at the very end of it, there's a bookshelf. And beside the bookshelf, there's a phone. And when you do, the phone has one button on it. And you pick up the phone, you press the button, and an attendant in this bar says, "How many people are you with?" You say 2. And then this bookshelf slides open.
What?
Yeah. And you walk upstairs, this spiral staircase to this bar. It's a magnificent bar. And the bartenders,
Jesus,
there's about 4 or 5.
We gotta go to this.
4 or 5, and it's a cigar room, so you can buy cigars there and smoke.
Where's this?
It's across from the Thursday party in Hampday.
On the second floor.
On the second floor, it's called the Back Room, and it's in the Prohibition era in America. They had a lot of these rooms. Speakeasies, right? Yeah. That's what it's a theme of speakeasy. Yeah.
You ever watch Boardwalk Empire?
Yeah.
That's good. That was a good series until the end. It turned into shit. But
hey, no spoilers.
It's probably called the back door. He's just setting you up.
Fantastic.
You're gonna go in there and wake up a few hours later. Your pants are around your ankles.
Because it's like one of those bar names where it could be either really classy or kind of seedy, like the Ballroom.
The Ballroom?
Because think about it, it could be like a classy ballroom, or it could just talk about your junk and having ballroom.
Yeah, or just be a play pit with balls inside of it, drinking.
The Ballroom.
But this bar has about 4 or 5 bartenders who work there. And their capacities, I think, is only 20 people.
Is it expensive?
Yep.
Yeah.
It was free to get in. Well, it's about $9 or $10 for a drink. But that's the first place I tried whiskey. So I'm telling the story. And I tried Belvedere, I believe it's called.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was 12 years. Oh, it was unreal. I drank that. It was on ice. It was like on a perfect spherical ice cube. Oh, my goodness. And I was like, wow, I've been missing out. And that changed my life.
Life-changing moments in Changwon.
Since then.
I guess that wasn't Busan, but we don't support Busan.
Since then, I've been drinking whiskey. It's a wonderful drink. And
just don't go crazy with it.
No, of course not. I mean, it's too expensive. You can't go crazy with it.
It gives you a terrible hangover if you go crazy with it.
Yeah.
Never.
Well, I hear
from experience.
I hear the higher class stuff, like the Belvedere, you don't feel the hangovers really.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
How much is a bottle of that?
Belvedere?
Yeah, like 12 year.
Oh, it's got to be probably $80.
Really? That's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Macallan's, I think, $95 for a bottle.
Yeah.
It goes up to what, 20 years? Belvedere?
I have no idea. I don't know. I'm not very versed on Belvedere, but I know like Macallan's, if you get like a really good bottle, that can go up towards like $280 or something.
Jesus. Yeah, but I'm sure if you drink that, you feel better the next day than the night before.
Johnny Walker Blue, I know, is like, it's got to be $150 or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's the back door.
Anyways, that's the back door.
Change your life.
Yeah.
Could sit down for a week.
Definitely. Oh, sorry, I forgot to say, there's 4 or 5 bartenders who work there because each of them has a list of assigned drinks that they make specially. So the first time I went there, I had a mojito. Like it was an apple mojito or something. But I had to wait 20 minutes because the bartender was like out and having a cigarette, and the other bartenders weren't allowed to make this mojito. So
it's like his specialty.
He makes mojitos.
It's his domain.
Yeah. So you're paying $9 for a glass, but I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's worth it.
It's worth it. And you go there for like a drink or two, And like you're not going there to get hammered.
I would work there and just pour the beers. Yeah. No one pours the beers, just me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a drink or two, and then you go down to Thursday party and get fucking shit-faced.
Exactly.
So you're in your second year contract. Mm-hmm. Just like, what, the beginning?
Yeah, this is
the beginning?
2 months in, I think.
Beginning of the end.
Then you plan on, going back to Canada?
No, he's going to England.
So I'm going to go back
But he said Canada first.
Canada first, yeah.
I'll be going back. So June 17th, I'm done my contract. I really want to travel for a week or two. I can't leave this place and just not see Southeast Asia, right? Doesn't make sense. So I'm going to travel for a bit.
Do you guys have any recommendations for him?
Yeah, I've been asking everybody.
I've only been to Japan and Korea.
Oh, man.
I would recommend Angkor Wat in Cambodia. It's quite nice.
I've heard Cambodia is awesome.
Yeah. It's cheap.
Yeah.
You go for like a huge meal, it's cost you like $2 American.
Nice.
So I recommend that. Scott?
It's interesting you said American, Canadian.
I have no recommendations.
They take American currency.
I'm done with travel.
Why is that?
Just tired.
Just tired.
I had enough trouble getting here today.
You're dreading the taxi ride home.
Yeah. But, I have no idea. Thailand?
I want to get my scuba diving license, and Thailand may be the place to do it. Get your advanced water.
Yeah.
I think
Koh Tao.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I think it costs about $400 or $500, but they provide accommodation.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Koh Tao is a nice island, too.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful.
But June is the monsoon season, so it's a gamble.
Yeah, you got to take that into account.
Yeah. Now, I don't think they'll stop the dives if it's raining. I don't think they care, but kind of set a negative tone on my whole trip.
You might be able to do it in Jeju.
Don't tell your mother.
That's okay. Yeah. When I get back with my motorcycle gear and I'm just gonna arrive with a helmet to Canada, she's like, "Why do you have this?" Like, "Oh, it's for my bicycle. Bicycle's back there."
So we got a surprise. We got a surprise for you.
It's for your lawn bowling.
We got your mother on the phone.
Oh yeah. Surprise! Yeah. Changed my life.
Just tell her it's for lawn bowling.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous sport.
Lawn bowling.
Long boarding, right?
Long boarding, right?
That's like a long skateboard?
It's a long skateboard with really nice wheels on it.
You need a helmet for that, don't you?
You do. I had like gloves that I made myself, and they have cutting board on them on the palms. And so you can throw yourself down on the ground and push the board out and drift while you're riding down a hill.
Super safe.
Which side of the road? Which side of the road are you on?
Both sides of the road. And you're doing that. That's why she was freaking out about it, because I do this stupid shit. But super fun. Oh my god.
Sounds like fun.
When you're going like probably 30, 40 kilometers an hour, and you're wearing knee pads and elbow pads.
I'm gonna start calling you Danger Varko.
Yeah.
His name's Danger.
It's not. It's Kevin. What is your middle name?
I have no middle name.
What?
Yeah.
Danger is my middle name.
Danger. I guess my middle name would be Sergey, because in Russia it's kind of custom to take your father's name.
Okay.
And my dad's name's Sergey. So Michael Sergey Varkovetski.
There's only two names in Russia, isn't there? Sergey and, what is it, Victor?
Vladimir. You forgot that one.
Vladimir.
Victor.
No, there's Sasha as well.
Sasha, right.
Yeah.
That's about it.
But anyway, we got to wrap things up. So how can people get in touch with you if they want to?
They don't really.
They don't?
Yeah, I don't have Tinder not Tinder.
It sounds like everybody's on Tinder these days.
What's that?
Your girlfriend's probably, you fucking better not have Tinder.
The tweeting social media thing. Twitter is what I meant to say.
There you go.
Twitter.
You have Instagram?
Facebook?
I don't have Instagram. I'm on Facebook, but my name's different on Facebook because I changed it when I was applying for schools. I didn't want the university, to look me up and just see all these stupid pictures from when I was in university.
So we're worried about Putin finding you.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll just leave you anonymous then.
No, well, you can find me on Facebook. It's under Mick Varko. Mick Varko. M-I-C-K Varko.
You really changed your name? Like, it's so hard to find this guy.
Well, there's a million Mikes. So if you search up Mike, like, good luck.
Is he Irish? Is he Scottish? Is he Polish?
Is he Russian?
Is he Italian?
A man of the world.
Yeah.
Man of the world. Highly recommend getting a motorcycle in Korea.
Just don't tell your parents.
Does
your father know?
Yeah, my dad knows. My sister and my mom don't. Highly recommend getting a motorcycle. It'll open up everything for you. It's really easy to get a license. If you're Canadian, you just exchange your license. And you get yourself a Korean driver's license. They're super cheap. My first motorcycle here cost only $600. Sorry, no, that's a lie. $800 I paid for my first bike. Yeah, and you're not dependent on transportation anymore, which is a bum sometimes in Korea. If that's one thing you take out of this podcast, get yourself a motorcycle.
There you go.
That's it.
And Phil, how can people get in touch with you?
Phil Way Stan on Instagram and Philip Wayne Stanley, Facebook, Phil at Changwoner.com.
And Adam, how can people get in touch with you?
Adam Maxwell Kent, Facebook, Ever Stalwart, at Instagram and Twitter. I want to thank everyone for listening today. Please subscribe or like us. And if you have any comments about what we've said, even if they're not the most flattering comments, they're still welcome.
Hey, there's no such thing as bad press.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming on,
man.
Yeah, I had a great time.
And if anybody wants to get in touch with me, just Scott at Changwoner or anything Changwoner.
Just give him a head nod.
Yeah. I will give you what's the opposite of the head nod?
The head shake.
The head shake back.
Good time. That was fun.
That was a lot of fun, man.
Thanks for having me. Honestly, I had a really
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for tuning in to the Changwoner Podcast. Stay tuned for our next episode.